Hey there. I had a story in mind that I thought was going to be both an incredible story and kind of a light lift. And it turns out I was right about one of those things. It's going to be an amazing story, but it is a bigger story than we thought, more complicated than I knew in more ways than one. And we're going to need some more time to dig in. So I'm going to ask you to come back in a few weeks for that. Meanwhile, may I recommend a story from the good folks at ProPublica, one that's related to a story we did here a few months ago. You might remember we talked recently about United Health Group, which has grown into a behemoth in recent years. And that story started with a tip from a doctor in New York named Alex Steinschlager. He had gotten an offer from a United subsidiary, a line of credit to help with his cash flow, or as he called it, a payday loan, at a steep interest rate, which he thought was pretty rich, since a big reason doctors have trouble with cash flow is that insurers like United Healthcare delay paying them. In other words, it sounded like a payday loan from your boss. Oh, I'm going to pay you late, but I could loan you the money and keep a little interest for myself, like 35%. Here's how Dr. Alex Steinschlager responded to that.
That's an incredible business plan. You have to be really creative to come up with that business idea. You also have to have steel balls to actually propose that publicly.
And as you might recall, when we dug in, that story checked out. But when I talked with Dr. Steinschlager, he had a lot of other allegations too. For instance, that insurers were doing something that seemed illegal, but the feds didn't have any process for taking complaints about it. And I would ask him things like, do you have any documentation that you could share about that?
I probably do.
I would love to see that. But you know what? I didn't follow up because I'm just one guy, and Dr. Alex Steinschlager had more tips that would need to be backed up with a ton of reporting than I could possibly run down. But now, somebody has run down at least one of them, and it's a doozy. A single lobbyist got the feds to okay mega millions in fees, maybe billions of dollars a year across the country that docs now pay just to get paid, which Alex Steinschlager learned through, among other things, a lot of Freedom of Information Act requests, and which ProPublica's Cesare Podcool verified with a lot of original reporting. We will have a link wherever you're listening to this. And I'll catch you in a few weeks with that next story, which starts like this because I spoke to this dude recently.
My name is John Green, and I'm a writer and YouTuber.
Yeah. So if you want to know what does the author of The Fault in Our Stars, and yes, the maker of more YouTube videos than I will have time to watch in my entire life, and really kind of a big mensch, have to do with a patent fight over a cure for multi-drug resistant tuberculosis, and what does that fight have to do with the price of drugs like insulin and humira? Well, we're going to answer all those questions in a few weeks, and it's going to be pretty great. Till then, take care of yourself.